just answering a few tough questions about each other.
Honest to God, Jane,
it was very scary. Very scary.
Lincoln has a massive fear of heights, huge. And we'd seen the pilot for that show, and there was a bungee in it. And he said, well, I can tell you now, if we do it, not in a million years will we do the bungee. He was terrified. Prior to doing it, we were in the bedroom. I wasn't scared because I thought it wouldn't happen. So Matty rings, my eldest rings and says, Mum, put Lincoln on. And Matty goes to you. I did a bungee a few years ago, scared of heights all my life. Mum will tell you, it was the most liberating thing I've ever done. And on that advice,
I jumped.
He speaks! He speaks!
Denise's voice was going earlier. Now it seems to have come back now.
No, but what I'm saying is, you then... So on Matt's advice, we did the jump. He was liberated. We came back, we phoned Matty and we said... We jumped and Lincoln said, when did you do the jump? He said, are you kidding me? I've never done a bungee jump. I want to be so
Yeah.
But how did you feel? How did you feel, Lincoln?
Well, it was the whole thing was... We said last year we were going to start doing some things together and we'd been in... You know, we've offered a few things. We didn't really like the idea
Go to a nice restaurant, maybe.
Well,
yeah, we do a lot of that, though.
This came up and we said, yeah, let's do it. So we wanted to do some more things, like, you know, together in these...
And I kind of wanted... There was a little bit of me that, because we had a bumpy start, press-wise, and all sorts of reasons, because we met when we were both drinking, you know, and it was a dark place in our lives, as you girls were witness to. And there was a lot of people that didn't give us any hope. And 12 years later, we have an incredibly happy marriage. And I guess we wanted to sort of...
Yeah. And Lincoln, what did you learn about Denise from this process that you didn't know before?
Well, there wasn't... I mean, we didn't go into this half-heartedly. We said we were going to give it everything we had. So I knew that if we did sort of, you know, create this sort of bond through the show and say, right, OK, let's do everything they throw at us, we're going to have a good chance. So I knew that we could do it together.
Did you find that I was more competitive than you thought I was? Because I always say I'm not.
Yeah, much more. Yeah, I'm very competitive, and Denise said she's not. She is.
I watched it last week. That was the first one, wasn't it? Yeah. And I watched it when you were going across the lake and you had to put the planks. You never shut up, as usual.
Which is unusual for me.
And you were really calm, actually. Considering you are competitive, you were really calm. Because that was quite hard as well, but you both managed to do it. It was so funny because they went, oh, she's disappeared.
And I had a shoe in my hand,
like Cinderella waiting for Prince Charming. Yeah. And I foolishly thought that somebody was going to come and rescue me because I can't put my head under the water. But the thing about this show is, yes, it's a game show, but obviously we all watch shows like I'm a Celebrity. You know, some of the practical ones weren't anything like as challenging as those. But it's about getting to know the couples. Like in this week's episode, you get to know us more about Lincoln being an artist, which would never have happened if it weren't for our sobriety. Big show opening tonight, going to get my husband's plug-in for Saatchi tonight. And you learn about Stephen Bailey and Rich Taylor, who are a gay couple who say, you know, we just want to show a very happy gay couple, but who are still suffering from massive homophobia. We can't hold each other's hands on the street. You sometimes forget that those... Because we're so liberal, you forget that those things are still happening.
There's a lot of elements about the relationship in the show that haven't been seen yet. And I think that's what moves forward with the show. There's so many of these different challenges and trials that we do, but it's a lot to do with why we're together and what we're in this for and that sort of thing, which is really interesting.
Did it make you feel closer?
Yeah,
by the end of it,
I love the challenges.
Yeah.
Some of them, I say, this isn't the only one that was terrifying. So there's more to come, but you know, it's shown me that there are things that I would never have done before that I'm actually...
And going back to you mentioned there, Denise, that you met when you were both drinking. So we've kind of heard from Denise a lot about her reasons behind stopping drinking and how instrumental you were in that. But I wanted to kind of ask you your perspective on it. What was the sort of the rock bottom for you that made you stop?
Well, we were in the same sort of space, really, you know, when we met, you know, in this nightclub at 6 in the morning, and it's, you know, it wasn't, you know, these sort of things hardly ever blossom into what we've got, but I saw there was a foundation for us to work together on looking at a sober life and to embrace to embrace a different life. You know, there was a...
We were going to lose each other, Jane.
Yeah.
This is something we sort of battled to begin with, and then said, right, OK, this is the way we're going to do it, by stop drinking and taking drugs. I mean, that's as simple as it gets, but it's a big thing.
And was it difficult because you were... Because you were both in the same place? You know, like, if one's sober and one isn't, you know, but you were both in the same place,
Would
was
never
that more
have worked,
difficult?
Kelly.
Yeah.
No.
The reason...
I knew I had to give up, and my rock bottom, Jane, was terrible anxieties and suffering in my own headspace. And then I said to Den, right, I'm going to give up. But then a month into my sobriety, you looked at it as well, didn't you?
Well, I
Because
didn't think I had as much of a problem as alcoholics don't.
We had a really,
you know,
we had a night where it went pear-shaped, and we said, right, OK, we've got to do this together.
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult if one
Yeah.
isn't
That's one.
You know,
using and one is.
it's even, you know, you don't even have to be at rock bottom. If you have a couple where one drinks and one don't, even if one just has 3 pints, you still want to... It's irritating, you know. And but it's not only sobriety as how it's enabled our lives to move forward. It's the fact that it's the ripple effect of how it impacts on your children. Yeah. And between us, we have 3 boys who are all flying. And that has a lot to do with the fact that we've been able to give them wings because mum and dad
And you're
are
about
sober.
to be a granddad.
I know.
Yes. I'm turning 50 at Christmas, and by next year I will have
He's a
a
bear,
grandchild.
he's a bear. Oh, my goodness.
Which I'm really excited about, it's great.
It's
yeah,
a wonderful
it's great.
thing. And, of course, your artwork was also an outlet to try and focus where your head was at for many years as well.
Very,
and can I
very
understand that
cathartic,
as well, which is a huge passion of yours.
Well, if you see Lincoln's art, you can see that it comes from some kind of inner madness that had to come out on canvas rather than from the bottle, and through that he's well.
They're saying to me that before we go, you have to do kiss cam, that we get all the couples.
Do you know
to
what
do.
Lincoln said to me before he came on?
Hang on
He
a
said,
minute, I'm
don't
going.
you dare! Don't you dare make me do a
Do
kiss!
it quick, go on.
do a
Just
bungee
quick.
jump.
Just do it in a little heart.
No, but then when I turn sideways,
be a
you can see
proper
my
kiss.
18 chins. Hang on.
15 seconds.
That's the only way I'm doing it.